the stream is starting. Yes, I am live. Welcome everybody. It's going to take a moment for people to pop in, I assume. And in the meantime, let me just make sure everything is good. As you guys come in, please let me know how it sounds. Welcome. People are coming in. Can you hear me well? Let me know in the chat and we'll go from there. All right. We got viewers coming in. Welcome, welcome. Let's see here. Anything here? All right. Cool, guys. It's Sunday. Loud and clear. Yes. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, here we go. So, cool. Welcome, guys. And what should we talk about? If you guys have anything in mind, please let me know in the chat and I'll get with you. In the meantime, I wanted to catch up since it's been a while since I've done a live stream. It's Sunday. I can hopefully catch a bunch of you. So let's just go over what's been going on lately with my life. So first of all, let's catch up with a few of the latest things I've made. Like, for example, well, first let's start with what's been happening lately. So the last like 2-3 months, the amount of content I've been creating has come down significantly. I needed to take a break. I was kind of getting burnt out, just like doing something new every week or two. And I just needed to take a break because overall, let me switch this. Overall, I guess I was just getting burnt out and dealing with a lot of things. My fiance, we're gonna get married. We're gonna get married hopefully this year, but it's looking like maybe early next year because a lot of venues are sold out. Apparently this is the year of the wedding since everyone had to postpone their wedding plans due to COVID, so now every place is booked up and busy and whatever. It's a little stressful, but other than that, my fiance was diagnosed with MS, which stands for multiple sclerosis, and dealing with that, making sure she got the right doctors, the right treatment, all that was a bit time consuming. But she's okay, and the first treatment she started, she responded well to it, so that's good. That's really good overall. I've been thrown out of my routine, basically. I've been thrown out of my routine, and is this it? Am I public? 1 second, guys. How come there's only... No, yeah, we're good. I believe this is public. Yeah, it is. Good. So anyway, I was thrown for a loop because I was getting burnt out making content, and my fiance getting treatment for her MS and taking her to the doctors, making sure everything's cool, and at the same time, you know, we want to get married, and then also we've been talking about having a child, which is crazy. But you know, I'm getting old. She's not old, but she can feel her biological clock ticking, and so life is overall intensifying. So I had to take a break from making content. I've also been focusing on trading overall, and that has made a good amount of money on the side. And it's not the typical buy and hold or whatever. I've been basically acting like a market maker, doing a mean reversion algorithm to capture volatility. That's a little advanced if you're not into trading, but it's something I find very comfortable with. Anyway, other than that, I've been counting my calories daily, and I have, let me see here. Thanks, Alessandro says, I'm really sorry for your girlfriend. Hope everything will be okay. I hope everything will be okay as well. Um, and thank you for everyone with the best wishes. Thanks, Kinjal. And thanks, Brett. And so I've been counting my calories lately for the past, I think it's been a month, because I really wanted to just get back into shape. Uh, I mean, I'm already in shape, but I wanted to lean out a bit more because I'm realizing that it's like I'm like 5 pounds a little heavier than usual, so could be mostly muscle. I've been training hard as hell lately too. Like, well, at least 2 months. Been going at it 3 times a week minimum. Doing my hypertrophy routine. It's awesome. I love it. And so, if you're curious about my nutrition series, I have posted on here. I have a 3-part. Well, is it 3? Yeah, it's 3-part video series on how weight loss works, why I do calorie counting, and then the best one is body image perceptions, body fat percentage and versus strength, online versus reality. Yeah, I'll just send this link in the chat, nutrition, so that if you want more info on how to lose weight or gain weight and why counting calories is so effective, essentially. So yeah, the nutrition series might look new, but I mean it's been there, but you know, it's yeah, it's something you should definitely check out. All right, so the other thing is, it's funny. So I've been working out like 3 times a week, right? But I barely post it. So I've just started like taking video of like workout clips sometimes. Like here's let's see if this will load. Yeah. Yeah, basically like for example, I'm doing tuck front lever rows, right? And like I don't post that I'm doing these usually, but I'm doing like 4 sets of all of these things and I'm not taking video. So if I don't post it on Instagram, am I doing it? No one else thinks I'm doing anything, right? It just looks like I'm doing nothing. I went surfing yesterday. Do you know I went surfing? No, you don't. Can I take video of me surfing? No. It's like, it's a complicated mess. So whatever you see on Instagram is like a fraction of what is happening in real life. But it's really cool. All these clips I have, it's my dog working out. I mean, I'm working out and my dog's next to me. Usually she's leashed up in between sets. I'm doing ring rollouts here. And anyway, oh, this exercise is dope, you guys. So you do rings push-ups, but at the end, you turn the rings out and you tap them together. This feels really good. And you try to make a tap sound like a tick, tick, you know? That's awesome, you know? Like, it's such a good exercise. And then you can also do this when you're doing dips. When you're doing dips, this is really great. But yeah, with rings push-ups, try it on your rings. If you don't have a pair of rings, but you have a pull-up bar or a place to set up your rings, definitely get a pair of wooden gymnastics rings. They are awesome. Look, I'm doing triceps extensions with the rings. Like, you didn't think you could do tricep extensions with the rings. Did you know that? Well, now you know. Now I'm doing 1-arm ring rows because 2-arm rows are too easy. So, but 1 arm makes it a little more manageable. And then here's the ring dips. So I'm doing like ring dips like normal, turning them out at the top. But then I'm like, oh, I should add the taps in this scenario too. So tap there, tap, and oh, that's it. Okay, so that's all I have right now. And you guys should see my dog while I'm at it. She's got this page, Looney Tooney. Her name's Luna, we call her Looney Tooney. Look at her, hops, 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 hops. She's so sassy and fast. Super fast dog, guys. Fastest dog in all the land. Anyway, but go back to something else more relevant. The latest blog post I made is on microplastics. Oh, and I have this ring dip video I made. I think I released it like 2-3 weeks ago. But anyway, let's go to the microplastics. This is I'll just post this in the chat as well. Latest blog post. Boom. So, are microplastics causing the demise of humans and bloodletting is the solution? Well, let me just run over like a little background of why I made this. So, since we were talking about having a child, right? And you know, infertility, you hear people having fertility issues, not just amongst old, because people are having kids at an older age, but even younger people are having issues. So, and I listened to this Joe Rogan podcast with Shauna Swan, and basically she's done research proving that all these plastics are exposure to plastics affects our reproductive health. And because they basically mimic estrogen, you know, like how you're supposed to get BPA free plastics. Well, even if it's BPA free, because BPA mimics estrogen and so it messes with your hormones, even if it's BPA free, there are other chemicals that they use, analogs of it, that are not illegal, or the public doesn't know that they're bad for you, so they use those instead, but they're very similar. So in either way, you have to avoid plastics like crazy. And it basically shows that if a mother is pregnant mother is exposed to plastics, the kid is born with more issues in regards to their reproductive health. Okay? So, and I go into detail of why or how that's measured, and you can find that more. But basically, microplastics are everywhere. Like, it could be nanoplastics even. Just like the fibers from your garments, just anything. Think about all the plastic you're exposed to. All your food is wrapped in plastic. Everything. Just look at how much plastic. The water bottles you drink out of. Anyway, there's like, if you look at it, you're exposed to more plastic than you thought. It's in the air. It's in our bloodstream. Apparently, we accumulate 5 grams of plastic every week, like the size of a credit card, like a credit card size of plastic every week we eat. Okay, isn't that crazy? It's really crazy. And then, basically, our tap water is full of plastic. You might not see the plastic, but you know, it's on a molecular level, like really tiny nanoplastics. And tap water doesn't filter that. So I had to get so I got afraid of all this stuff, and so I tried to get the best water filter possible. I ended up getting the Aquasana AQ 5200, which is not very expensive. It was like $130, but the filter is going to cost about that much every year. But for my health, it's worth it. It's way, way good. Basically, it's certified to catch everything, almost everything. And so it's one of those water systems that you put under your sink, and it's worth it. All I did was drill a hole in my countertop and whatever. It was pretty easy to do. But yeah, basically these microplastics, they're accumulating in our body, and so they're not only in our lungs, they're even in our bloodstream. And the problem is the plastics, especially there's a class of plastics known as forever chemicals. These are the perfluoroalkyl or polyfluoroalkyl plastics, basically. And they're called forever chemicals because their half-life is in years, so they don't degrade. They take a very long time to actually degrade, and they permanently bind to the proteins in the serum, the water portion of your blood. So like in your blood you have water, which is filled with proteins, and then you also have blood cells, right? Just to simplify things. And then in the serum is all these proteins hanging around, and the plastics, these PFAS or polyfluoroalkyl substances, they attach to the proteins permanently, and you can't get rid of it unless they found out. So basically, if you get rid of, the one way you could get rid of these plastics is by donating your blood or plasma. Okay, so you get rid of it, you get rid of like a quart of blood or a pint of blood, whatever it is, and then your body needs to generate new ones, and these new ones are not tainted with these plastics. They will be in the future, but basically they did a study showing that they took groups of firefighters, one of them donated plasma every 6 weeks, and they found out they had a 75% reduction in those plastics in their bloodstream after 1 year. And the people who donated blood every 12 weeks had a 50% reduction. So this is probably like the first time we've been able to find out how to get rid of the plastics in our bloodstream, which is important because your blood circulates everywhere and it affects your whole body, right? It's what provides nutrients to everywhere. So things you can do: avoid drinking from disposable plastic water bottles, get a good water filter system. So it's crazy, the water filters themselves, the housing in it, the tubing in it, even those are plastic. That's how much we are, like in houses nowadays, the piping is plastic, right? Like everything is plastic because it's cheaper. But and also, if you have your Tupperware, your food containers, replace them with glass. Never ever microwave plastic. Donate blood or plasma every month. And the cool thing is, a lot of places pay you to donate your plasma, right? And then lastly, replace your mattress with one that isn't emitting toxic chemicals. And there's a link there to like a website that has more health-friendly mattresses. And so I end this by saying, are plastics the equivalent of what happened to the Romans with lead? Because they didn't know that the lead was poisoning them, right? And eventually it made them go crazy. So, plastic, it's essential to everyday life, but is it detrimental to the longevity and health of our bodies? It seems like it is, and it's going to take a while, for us to get rid of it, right? Or maybe we're not going to get rid of it at all. I don't know. Because corporations always want to make more money. And what incentive do they have to, if this is not a big deal, no one is going to force them to make anything safer for us. They're just thinking about the bottom line, which is what's scary, because, as more and more corporations get more and more powerful, they monopolize everything, and we're already seeing the effects of this, and it's mind-blowing, because what's the end of this? What is the end result of monopolies? It's kind of nuts. So I just wanted to go over those few things. And lastly, the other thing I had done was I made this YouTube video on...
What's up, everybody? My name is Antranik, and for this video...
Sorry guys, this is really loud.
How to...
Sorry. Basically, I'm talking about how to do dips on the rings. Yeah, Ken says they'll kick the can down the road just like global warming. Yeah, I mean, they have no incentive to make things that are healthy for us, Just like pharmaceutical companies, you think, oh, they're making stuff that's good for you. Sure, they are, but they also make a lot more money if you're sick, right? If every time someone someone gets cancer, that's a lot of money to them all of a sudden every year. Or like MS patients, like since I learned recently, MS is one of the most costly conditions to have, because you become basically, you have to pay like $50,000 a year. Luckily the insurance covers it if you can afford the best insurance ever. Unfortunately. And yeah, anyway, life is overall just really tough and challenging. But you know, it always seems like life is just getting better and shittier at the same time. But I think it's always been this way through all of human history. Everyone thinks like their generation went through hard times, and now we're going through hard times in different ways that we're not accustomed to, right? And so, look, I'm wearing the same shirt I'm wearing in the video because I'm a simple guy. I don't have a ton of shirts and flashy things. I'm so simple, guys. My closet is simple. I love simplicity. You just gotta think about what matters to you, right? Like materialistic things don't matter that much, right? Hopefully they don't. I mean, and so yeah, this is my latest video on ring dips. Really good. I love ring dips. And lastly, I want to say that my newest dog, Luna, is this girl right here. She's like she's such a joy. And the difference between this dog and my previous dog, Medox, is that this dog, everything that I'm doing with her, like I am basically like I'm seeing it through the lens of what it's like to raise a child, in far greater detail. Whether it's like the house training when she was a puppy to make sure she doesn't pee in the house, to the constant attention that she needs, being very needy. I can see why my clients have trouble working out, when kids are constantly distracting and need attention. They need exercise, they need food, they need, everything, right? So that is, but it's a joy, like someone said once, they said kids are the worst thing that can happen to you and the best thing that can happen to you simultaneously, right? Big thing like that. So anyway, that's all I wanted to share, guys. Otherwise, overall, I'm glad that COVID has chilled out. People are not as intense about their mask wearing and their fear. But now we have different issues like inflation, and everyone is just struggling and wants to make more money. And it's just like you could see it you could see it in the world, like you could feel it in the air that people are stressed out, like people are driving differently, people are not paying attention to the road. I've seen more people run red lights than I ever have, like in this past year, than I ever have in my whole life combined. Okay, like I don't know if people are is that just because they're distracted, they're so stressed, they're pissed, they're in a rush. I don't know what it is, but you could tell people are struggling. Everyone is struggling. Like and the disparity between the poor and the rich is becoming gravely huge. And that's usually what leads to downfalls of societies, is when you don't have a middle class. Because the rich do get richer and the poor do get poorer. It's very hard to flip things around. And yeah, so that's all I got to catch up with you guys. Do you guys have any questions? Please let me know. I'll hang out here. Alperin says, hello Antranik, thanks for your videos. Take care as well. Thanks, man. But yeah, oh, and I made like a couple shorts recently. These, I don't know if they show up on the feeds, but
and back to
let me do this. basically I show, is there a way I could make this full screen? No? Let me fix this around. Basically I show how to, yeah, I'll just post this in the chat. Latest short video. Basically I like to do the Chapasana variation of Ardha Chandrasana, which is basically this right here, whatever I'm doing right now. And so that's Ardha Chandrasana, and then my little reverse warrior, extended side angle pose, and down. I like this little flow. I just wanted to share it. It's less than 1 minute long, but basically you could get into it by standing, grabbing your foot, tipping down into your dancer's pose, and then go down all the way until your hand hits the floor. If your hand can't hit the floor, use a block or use a chair, and then you could get in and out of it like that. It helps build control and stability with your leg and gets a really nice stretch. Another way of getting into it is like this with Warrior 3, and then from Warrior 3 you go into Half Moon pose, and then you could bend the leg and grab your foot, and then try to bend backwards, that part. And again, using a block will make it very doable. And boom, Warrior 2. And there's just a nice flow. You could do any flow you want after this, but yeah. So I wanted to just share that, and because that was a cool thing. Like YouTube now has these shorts feature, which I don't know. It's not a bad idea to take advantage and see if people like things. But like the thing with shorts is that they're just like TikTok videos or Instagram reels. Whenever you watch them, you don't necessarily build a connection with them, or like, first of all, they're shorts, so like you're in this state of mind where like you're just used to watching things quickly and moving on. So you don't really care to find out more about this guy. You just want to go to the next reel, the next video. So what ends up happening is these short videos, they might get a lot of views, but they don't get a lot of people subscribing to you. They don't, the people don't stick, is what I mean. It's more like just very temporary stuff. But yeah, whatever. It's a good format. It's whenever things like Twitter came out, I was like, oh, that's so stupid. You're only limited to so many characters. It's going to promote lack of depth. But it turns out that it's a really good medium, and people make it work. And brevity, making things short and to the point, is an art in itself. So I'm not shitting on new avenues and different things that are happening, but I see the pros and cons to them all. So yeah, I hope you guys liked this video, and it was a good catch up for me. I've been streaming for about 30 minutes. I'm gonna log off now, and I'll be making new content soon. If you guys have any requests, email me, and I will chat with you guys later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great Sunday.